Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindile, aka Slee. If you are new, welcome. You are welcome. Today I wanted to share with you some of my reflections, especially when it comes to self-care and the hustle work culture. So if you are in corporate, whether it's corporate, wherever in your world, I want to share with you some of the things I felt convicted by not so long ago when it came to self-care. So there's always a balance between taking care of yourself and working equally as hard. I was having a conversation not so long ago with someone around how sometimes we can use self-care as a crutch, not to actually do the heavy lifting of our work. So everything is circumstantial though, so it depends why are you doing that. For me personally, there was a time in my career where I felt like there was a lot happening and not happening in my way. So I felt either stuck or not progressing as far as I wanted to go, or things really, like I mentioned, circumstantial were happening around my career in the corporate setting that were beyond my control. So for me to cope with that and not to go crazy or lose my perception on how I would have wanted things to be, I started indulging in a lot of self-care. So I'm all for self-care movement, self-care, taking care of yourself, doing what's necessary to obviously show up in the world. But sometimes we have to actually wonder if we are really due for self-care as equal as we have actually put in the work to actually reach to a point where we need to actually take a break. So for example, if you feel that you have actually worked equally as hard, for you to actually sit back and reflect and do some self-care, whether it's a routine around your skin routine, taking long baths, doing some spa days, or really just honing on taking a lot of breaks in between your days so you can truly show up. So the reason why I wanted to share this is because I honestly think sometimes, especially in this day and age of me, self-care has become a crutch. People take self-care as if it's an entire profession, like you can literally just live on self-care. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but this is how I am observing things, especially now in this day and age where everything is about self-movement, main character energy, and all these other things that are just coming out of nowhere. I'm all for taking care of yourself, but sometimes you need to sit back and think about how you've actually honed into your work. So whether you're in business or you're in career, whatever vocation that you have been, you find yourself in, have you equally put in the work to assess, even if the situation is not going as planned, what are you doing about it so you can show up for the day? And if you're struggling, how have you actually channeled that struggle with your manager, with your colleagues, with somebody like a mentor or a coach that could help you maybe channel your energy towards other things within your corporate if you are facing maybe a situation where things are just not progressing as you would have thought. Instead of laying back and thinking, oh, this is not going my way, I'm so frustrated, I might as well just take care of my mental health. Nothing wrong with mental health, nothing wrong with self-care routine, but we need to especially now observe, have a conviction in our hearts to understand, is self-care really the main thing, sis? Is like, are you due for a self-care? Because like I mentioned, I was talking to somebody else. We need to take stock of our day and see how much we've put in versus how much we want to reward ourselves. If we are really being honest, do we owe ourselves a reward for the day's work that we put in? And you don't need to have recognition by people or feel some type of, I don't know, you want claps for how much you've done. But personally for yourself, have you done the homework in actually saying 1, 2, 3 in an area that I challenge? I try to speak to 1, 2, 3 persons, or I did this instead of doing that, so I can make sure I show up, whether I'm doing more in mentoring, maybe I'm doing more in learning, maybe I'm asking more harder questions to understand the bigger picture around a certain area that's not moving. How have I harnessed myself when it comes to my career or whatever vocation I find myself in, to make sure that I'm equally putting as much energy and not just sitting back and being content with what's not going on. So you have to, this is going to be a very short video. I just wanted to I really want us to think about how is self-care either being a form of a crutch or it's something that's really owed to us. And if it's owed to us, and if it's owed to you, because it's all about you, self-care, if it's owed to you, then do what you need to do to take care of yourself. But make sure that you are equally putting the work in also taking care of things around your responsibilities, your duties, and so forth, because nothing is as sad as just floating in the air and thinking you are justified by things that you're actually not justified in. And a certain level or a certain age where we actually have to grow up. One thing I've noticed about the younger generation, finding myself in my mid-30s now, I've noticed with the younger generation, they talk a lot. Yes, they wanna see change, but equally they're just really good with their words. They like blah 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 blah. But sometimes it's like, when are you just always talking? But what's your research? How have you come to this decision? Why? What is your why? Because sometimes we can piggyback on certain things that are happening in the culture to prove our point. Meanwhile, there's no point to prove here. You need to either come back to me with something that's viable, that I can actually apply myself and actually see that you've applied yourself, instead of just trying to complain or not putting as much work as maybe trying to think outside the box in areas that you find yourself that are not working. So I thought I should share this with you guys because I felt convicted around an area, a particular season in my career, where I felt like because of certain things that are not working, I could not lay back necessarily, but protect my mental space, because I could easily go left or go right because of the situation. But I could have easily also raised my hand and asked, can I do something else? Maybe that can challenge me, can stretch me, can open my eyes to something else. I can add value somewhere else, instead of just saying, okay, since this is not working, I'm not getting anything out of this, I might as well just do me, protect my mental health, self-care, self-care, self-care. So yes, things happen, like I mentioned, everything's circumstantial, but we really need to be honest with ourselves when it comes to the culture of taking care a little bit too much of yourself when it's not even due to you. So I hope you guys find this useful. Let me know what you think, if you have been using self-care as a crutch, or you are just not applying yourself when you feel stuck in a particular situation. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember, take care of yourself, but make sure you are putting as much effort in also applying yourself in an area that you have been called to do in this world. And ask for God for wisdom every day to order your steps. Many other plans, but He establishes them. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and bye.